Hello, my friend. Welcome to my channel. I have a little announcement to make. So next week I will start working again, and therefore I need a more rigid planning for my videos, and it will be easier for you to determine what you want to watch or not. As from today, I will do every Wednesday a midweek check-in where I talk about the books I'm reading, the books I've already finished that week, books that I've hauled and I'm planning to read for the next couple of days. On Fridays, every Friday, I will do a deep dive into either a book or an author. Friday, it will be Anne Petrie. I will talk more about her and her work because I think she's a brilliant author and nobody ever talks about her. So I think it's well worth the time to talk about her. And on Sundays, of course, there's always my Sunday Coffee Klatch where I talk about the past week and all bookish things related. I also will do every 10th of the month, so that's already tomorrow, a series, and you will see what that will be. Sometimes it will collide with other subjects, but that doesn't matter. I will find a solution for that. My writing lessons, I will transfer them to a new channel. I will have to set that up. I haven't got a name yet. So I will find something really nice, and then I will transfer all my writing lessons to there so people can really focus on the writing or on the reading. And I will make those lessons even more interesting in a way that I will also deep dive into character building, the short stories, how you make them, how you see them, how do you color with your words, how do you paint with your words and the lighting and everything. So I will be more specific, even more, and I think that will be more interesting if you really want to focus only on writing and the reading people, because not everybody wants to write or listen to things about writing. Yeah, that's about it. So that's my general announcement. I have a couple of books read. I'm also still reading Jane Austen, Emma. I'm at book 2, chapter 5, and I'm really taking my time. So I even read out loud in my head, which I normally never do. Mrs. Elton just appeared, and yeah, it's really fun. And Jane, and yeah, it's a fun discovery. It's my first Jane Austen, so I'm really enjoying it. And then, what have I read so far? Well, I've read a book, So You Don't Have to, and that's Heather Lewis's, what was it in English? House Rules. I don't know if you follow Ollie's channel, Criminoli, and he talked about his most disturbing book, and that was written by Heather Lewis. I knew that I had bought last year a copy of her for 50 cents, but it was a different book, so I read this one because I was curious. And yeah, it is disturbing, but sometimes there are books that need to be written, but not necessarily need to be read. And this is one of them. You can clearly feel that she has written a story that is her own, that is very abusive, very shocking, and you can clearly see that she uses it as a sort of therapy. It talks about very disturbing things sexually. It talks about incest. It talks about being forced using drugs and all sorts of things. It's very, very disturbing. This girl has had actually no chance in life. It's a sad story, and I don't think it will help other people to come over to help them with their demons. That's why I said that it's not necessary to read it. It's very painful. So I also read a magnificent book this weekend. It's called Sirens and Muses, written by Antonia Angress. It is brilliant. It is so well written. Antonia Angress is a debutante, so it's her first novel. And what a debut it is. The story starts at an art school. 3 students, 1 teacher, and they all want to be artists. Also the teacher, he was a very famous artist, but he started teaching and he lost a bit of feeling with his art. And the 3 students, one is very rich, has a boyfriend, and the other is very poor, has to struggle and even suffers physically to do what she wants to do. She can only eat 1 meal a day, so she is able to pay for her paints. Oil paints are extremely expensive, but she is very talented. The rich girl is also very talented, but she also knows the right people. And it's all talks about those things. The way she describes the act or the art of painting, the act of painting actually. The motions of the paint and the brush and the strokes and the light and it's so well done. It is so well done. And the tension between the 4 characters, they are all well developed, they are all flawed in their way. It is painful, it is beautiful, it is interesting, you learn something. It is a smorgasbord of all kinds of feelings and emotions. You will absolutely love this book. It is something for you. I'm 100% sure. If you like my channel, if you follow my channel, and you trust a bit my taste, this is a good book to read. It is emotional, very rich, very textured, very tactile, and full of colors. It's really good. Then I also read Seek the Singing Fish by Roma Wells. What a beautiful story this is. This is a very poetic author. Roma Wells is from Sri Lanka descent. She lives in, where is it, Ireland or England? She lives in the West. And she talks about a little girl who grows up in Sri Lanka. Everything is fine, but then the war, the civil war between the Tamil Tigers and the rest of the population breaks out. Horrible things are happening, are done. And then she talks about the tsunami, because that happened there too, the tsunami. And then, things get worse and worse, and she's trafficked. And then finally she gets to England, and her main dream is actually to go back to Sri Lanka to find her brother. And it's such a beautiful told story with so much heart and so much love. And she uses this is also used in a way to cope with all the atrocities that happened in those years during the civil war with the Tamil Tigers. but it's done so eloquently, and she uses often descriptions of nature, local nature, to describe how people are. And it's so done, it's done with a very rich palette of flowers and greenery and imagination. It is an amazing book. Well, I've underlined some things. Oh, here, let me read something. But I refuse to pity Ash. Not that her suffering didn't deserve it by the tangle load. It just felt I should do better. Pity is a cruel syrup. The stickly slush trickles on its targets, well-meaning but impossible to remove. You become defined by the stuff, and if the thickness pours both internally and externally, you will be trapped in its glue forever. So for Ash, I chose respect instead. Beautiful, huh? Yeah. People can write so beautiful things, and this is full of those things. It's beautiful. What's also so special is that she gives you a name. She gives the reader a name, and she talks to you, the reader, in person. So this feels like a very, very personal emotion, moment, relationship, maybe even. So yeah, Roma Wells, Seek the Singing Fish. Beautiful. I will talk about this one next Sunday, Tender as a Flesh, because I have some ideas and thoughts about it. So yeah, be prepared. I enjoyed it. It is shocking, but it has a point. There's a point to this book. So I will talk about it later. A book that I want to to read is How to Lose a Country: The 7 Steps from Democracy to Dictatorship. It is written by Turkish author Ece Temelkuran, and it shows how quickly a democracy can fall into a dictatorship. And apparently there are 7 steps. I'm really curious. The author is from Turkey, and of course, I saw what was happening with Erdogan and how much their freedom is restricted more and more. So yeah, I'm really wondering what she has to say about how her country disappeared like she knew it, and how it became Erdogan country. So yeah, I'm really interested. And then yeah, that's about it. So Friday I will talk about MP3 because I finished also the Narrows. And Sunday I will talk about Tender in the Flesh and the other books that I've finished by then. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.